All right, and we are live. Economic Preppers live here in Oregon. Patrick, are you nice and comfy?
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna start my massage chair here because XRP is going, and I'm just gonna relax and enjoy the moment. You guys go ahead, talk about XRP and what's going on. Tell them what's happening because I'm just gonna relax. I've called it. I'm happy. I'm
Well,
relaxing.
you alerted us today because you saw it first. So good on you that you saw that first. But I think it was happening. It started about 8:30 locally here for the most part in most markets. The news started to come out that XRP is officially not a security according to a judge, and I don't even know what district or what level. But the news is positive, and XRP is pumping. I think it went from 45 to 50 cents all the way up to it's sitting at 80 cents now and moving quickly upwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys wouldn't take my bet, would you? You
No,
guys.
no, I'm not taking the $1 bet because I think it could be. By the time this video's over, it might be $1.
Yeah. What is it now? It's over 80,
We're
right?
up 70% at 80 cents.
70%. Wow. So we were like 45, 50 cents this morning.
Yeah.
That's a move. That's a move. And XLM, a similar copy of XRP is moving up. All the alts are coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin's coming up. The whole market's moving up.
Matic's moving up 15-20%.
Yeah, Matic has more news coming out too. We can talk about that another time. But I mean, they're always making moves. But the whole market as a whole is being driven, I think, by XRP. The volume.
Polygon
candles.
came out on
Yeah.
Twitter today, like just about an hour ago, and said, "We're not a security."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's self-declaring that they are not securities either.
Who is the security at this point?
It's
Yeah.
hilarious. This is great.
Yeah. I think Ethereum still is a security. Just 'cause everybody else is not. I think we'll go with that story for now.
I think the question is, does it even matter at this point in time?
I've argued it never really mattered because I mean we're only talking about the SEC and that's only the U.S. and we're talking about global currencies. So there's way too much emphasis on the U.S. market and the U.S. legislation with the SEC and the CFTC, but a lot of liquidity comes. It used to be a lot of crypto liquidity came from the U.S. It was up to like 40%, but now it's more like 20-25. So it's really gotten global.
Yeah, but with BlackRock and Fidelity and these guys being able to invest in all these different asset classes, it's time. We're here. It's bull season.
Well, they can't. We have to clarify that because the big boys can't get into anything but Bitcoin and Ethereum yet, because like those other projects aren't big enough to accept that level of capital. But when you start getting ETFs and especially a spot ETF, but you have options like Bitcoin and Ethereum have options now, and they have futures. Now they're getting ETFs, but that's how the big boys get in. You have to have a vehicle for those funds that are permissible according to their rules, which is what an ETF really does. So that's how the BlackRocks and the Vanguards and the Chase Mellon banks get
This is
involved.
beautiful for crypto adoption. Like, this is good news all the way around for crypto today.
But what do you expect to happen now? Like the next 48 hours, what do you expect?
I expect liquidity to start moving around. So people will probably start taking profits out of XRP for a little bit. You'll start seeing some of it flow into other altcoins that are less, volatile at this time, and especially with high upside. Probably like Litecoin. You could see that moving up. Matic, Cardano. Those are three of the big ones that I think money's moving into that. So it's just going up too little right now during this bull
I can
cycle.
see Atom moving up too. That's been pretty quiet for now.
Sure. I mean, everyone's favorite coins. If you own
Yeah.
XRP, liquidity is going to flow out of that in some fashion into these other altcoins. But the trick that I think that I want to be watching for, the one that really gets me is CZ. What's going on with Binance? They're printing so much USDT, and people are cashing out everything USDT.
Wasn't there an announcement earlier today that their Bitcoin on Binance was selling? Or was it the price? There was a price difference between what you could get Bitcoin on Binance versus what.
Arbitrage.
Yeah, because you can't take it off, or there's some issues going on there.
I'm not familiar with what's going on with the Binance platform right now, but what's clear is CZ is printing a ton of money, and they're minting so much USDT that we know that the market cap of USDT has been rising a lot. I mean, not just a little bit, a lot in this last 2 months. So what we're seeing are people taking their liquidity out of XRP, throwing it in USDT, and I'm concerned for what that may lead to.
Well, and one thing to keep in mind that has been happening over the past few months is we've seen in the altcoin market, we've seen a tremendous amount of liquidity dry up. We saw the Bitcoin dominance skyrocket. I think I saw a chart today someone posted. It was like Bitcoin dominance was at 51 or so percent, and then of course with this announcement with the SEC, the dominance just sharply dropped off. And so what that indicates is that you are likely seeing some liquidity flow out of Bitcoin and into some of the altcoins to capitalize on this rally. And then, of course, we're seeing some liquidity come in from the sidelines for this market because everything's spiking up. So some demand there, which is interesting. But I guess the big question I have is, what does this fundamentally change something in the short term? Like, does this fundamentally change anything major, or we still have to work through some things and issues in this market before we really take off?
It's still a multi-dimensional story. I mean, this is the first in a while. I think that we've had really positive news for an altcoin to drive the altcoin market up, but there's still the powers that be are still trying to keep the price of Bitcoin down because the spot ETF isn't launched and the big boys haven't come in yet. So, like, while this is a positive thing for crypto in general, and I totally agree with that, I expect some kind of news, probably Friday afternoon, to drive the market back down to try and balance it out because they don't want things to run away too quickly. And that could happen when XRP is going to double probably in 48 hours. And that's going to, and a lot of interest in a lot of altcoins. And people like, normally when an altcoin pumps, that's like, where do we take our profits to? And that's where you would go to Bitcoin.
Yeah, we're at 86.
Yeah, and like we're at 86 now. I mean, we were at 46, now we're at 86. So like if XRP, that's the next major hurdle, is probably about $1. But if they start taking profits, then where are they going to take profits to? Probably Bitcoin, which will drive the Bitcoin price up, which will upset the big boys because now they can't buy Bitcoin at a discount. So that's why I expect some kind of balancing FUD noise coming out. Could be Fed now. I mean, it's primed for that to come out anymore. We have CBDCs. It is July. Hasn't come out yet. NATO is meeting. Who knows what they announce? There could be any story of FUD that comes out, but odds are something from the SEC because that will try to rebalance the story against this negative news that they just received. You know, as they got it slapped on the wrist about XRP.
Yeah, I think you're spot on with that. Is that, I mean, when you're looking at this, you have green candles. That's generally a pretty good time to take some money off the table, especially when the market has not been producing a ton of green candles lately. So, yeah, you're right that once people start taking money off the table, you know, some of those spike ups will start to stabilize, come down a little bit, and where does that money go, and how does that impact the market? And I think you're not far off with it going into Bitcoin, and then, you know, shaking things up from there.
Yeah, because the normal four level cycle of crypto is Bitcoin goes up, then Ethereum will go up, then the top 100 or so altcoins will go up, and then, you know, your shit coins, your speculative stuff will go up. We already jumped to level 3 with the top 100 altcoins going up. Kind of skipped over Ethereum for the most part, so Ethereum could do well in this as well. But when you get to level 3 and level 4 of like the altcoins are pumping up, and you're deep into crypto, unless you're buying silver or gold, where else are you going to take these profits to? You got to take them somewhere, and Bitcoin's usually the likely answer, or USDT. But the other story that could pop is always the tether bubble. We haven't had that story yet. You know, I know you're probably waiting for that one. So why don't you take that section?
I mean, we don't have to discuss it too much. I just know that we haven't had any good auditing for USDT. We know that they're minting a lot of money. We have no idea what it's backed with. So a rug pull is, you know, something that I'm really looking at right now. I'm not sure what's going on, but it just doesn't sound right. Something seems off. And this is the kind of behavior I was seeing when FTX collapsed, and you were thinking, where is the money going? How are they losing 10 times more money than Binance? So these are the things where you go, something's not adding up. The blockchain data may even contradict some of the things that you were suggesting earlier about the outflow of Bitcoin and the dominance going down because the flow of Bitcoin, it's moving out of Bitcoin into alts. The narrative doesn't support that. We're seeing that the Bitcoin is not moving too much right now. We're seeing that the plays are, it's just the market cap of these other altcoins are going up. And so that's what's causing the imbalance, not so much people running away from Bitcoin. I don't think anyone's running away from Bitcoin right now, not at least in the metrics I'm seeing. Now, there may be people who are betting with their Bitcoin, but I suggest that that's a terrible idea.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right, and that's something to consider as well. That could be just the reason why the dominance is going down isn't because capital's leaving Bitcoin. Is that you're having market cap spike up from the demand for some of these other altcoins, and that ratio changes.
That's correct.
And I do want to point out the USDT. This has been people have been talking about the Tether FUD for years, and this seems like one big giant thread that could be pulled that could shake things up a lot, and that hasn't been pulled. And you got to ask yourself: so is it the scenario that the reason why it hasn't been pulled is because Tether's sound, it's solid, everything's working fine, like it's good, or is there a reason why people are waiting? And I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but it seems like no one really trusts Tether.
Well, the answer is definitely not the first one.
Yeah.
It's definitely not because we trust it. We know who they are and everything's fine. That's not the answer. We know that's not true.
Yeah, I think it was Coin Bureau did an audit. They looked at one of the reports. They finally had a report on Tether, and then they were overexposed to commercial real estate, probably through China as well. So there's that. It's not a $1-to-1 dollar backing, which is what they always claimed. So the audit trail was dollar-like equivalents, which is like a mortgage-backed security or commercial mortgage note. And if those aren't sound, then that bubble
The
could
underlying assets aren't sound.
Right. So that it's just like a run on a bank could happen. Same thing, a run on Tether could happen.
Yeah.
And that could be something that hurts because Tether is the most dominant stable coin right now, even though it's not very stable. And we've seen what happens in the past when those things start to pop, like with Luna. So it could happen again that there could be an issue. And that story's been out there, and like it's probably one of the older stories. You're right, just like the Mt. Gox story, which has been out there forever too. But those are the kind of threads that they want to have. Like if they run out of FUD, they can dust this off and bring it out.
But the short answer to your question is no. This is not going to hurt Bitcoin.
No, and I think it actually might help the miners too, because they're looking to recapitalize right now and sell to get more miners. So the Bitcoin price is going up. They get more capital if they sell Bitcoin.
Yeah, and again, it's not so much that they're selling; it's more that they're loaning against it.
Right, but it does help them get those miners because they need that Bitcoin because that's all. Is it Bitmain?
Yeah, Bitmain's the main manufacturer. They make Antminer.
Yeah, that's why I get them confused. Bitmain and Antminer. So, anyway, these are some of the things that we've been talking about all week, and it's been great to have Dylan out here this week. We'll talk in the next video about what we've been doing, but we wanted to get this video out there, talk about XRP because it's the big story today. You'll probably see all the green candles and wonder what's going on. That's what's going on today.
And you guys, the news isn't that XRP was declared not a security. The news is a judge ruled. This has been an anticipated event for so long. The idea that this actually happened today, we have been waiting for this. There is a huge XRP army waiting for this day. And we're not saying we're selling. We're just saying we've been waiting. We told you so. It's a party day for us.
Yeah, and it's a major milestone, not just for XRP, but for all crypto today, and that's a big deal. And it's been like a 2-year saga, not just with XRP, but other court cases, but finally a win in the altcoin.
And Coinbase is watching this, Binance is watching this. Everybody is going to be making decisions based off of the answers we saw from the judge today, based on his ruling. We expect to give more clarity to the situation, and more clarity means that there's more confidence. Investors don't like it when there's unknown risk. Now that there's more clarity, there's less risk, which means you'll probably start seeing some more investors popping in here.
Yeah, and more FUD too to balance it out.
Absolutely, but it's all over good for the crypto space today. Good news for the crypto space.
Agreed. So you'll see lots of stuff on XRP and lots of stuff from us coming out lately. But we wanted to get right on top of this story while we were all here and talking about it. Say, hey, well, everybody probably wants to hear this conversation, so we recorded it for you. So please like, share, subscribe, all that cool stuff, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.